Hello and welcome back to Sailing Madness. In this episode, Jess goes for a swim, I undertake a repair that has the potential to sink the boat, and we take what is said to be Britain's most beautiful shortcut. We're transiting the Crinan Canal on Scotland's west coast. We're doing it! The Crinan Canal opened in 1801 to provide a shortcut between the Clyde and the Inner Hebrides, without the need for the long diversion around the Kintyre Peninsula, and in particular the exposed seas off the Mull of Kintyre. On the canal there's 15 locks and 7 bridges, and it's 9 miles long, from Loch Fyne in the east to the Sound of Jura in the west. Queen Victoria transited the canal in 1847, and here we are 176 years later, following the same route the royal party took all those years ago. I tell you what, these close a lot quicker than the ones at Port de Norwich. They take about half hour to close.
Notice I get all the glamorous jobs, so now I'm a human fender apparently. That's all I'm worth, a human fender. 54 years of age and I've amounted to a human fender. Fabulous.
Does he not know how much fenders cost? They're 80 quid, them fenders. Right, so we are now just about to exit the third lock, and if you look behind me by the building with the red roof, you can see how high we are compared to where we were at sea level when we entered the first lock. You do come up a long way. It's great that the staff are here to do these first few locks for you. Ideally you really need 3 people on the boat, but we're going to have to manage with just 2. Right, I'm just showing the map where we are and where we've come from. As you can see, we started down here and we've just gone through, we're just about to go through our third lock. We're always ready. The fourth one is a bridge and there is a lock keeper ahead. And then after that, we've got no more locks until we start descending to go out at the other side, but we're not going to do that until tomorrow, because halfway along there's some nice pontoons by a pub and we're going to stop there for the night. I've just found another way of keeping the stern against the wall. Use a winch.
Are you alright there, Dave?
Yeah. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so 20 minutes to the next bridge. Bridge will lift for us, they'll ring ahead.
Right, okay.
And then 30 minutes after that, we're at the pontoon.
Right, oh, okay. We are now free, we're in the canal. That was the last of the 4 locks. We've got a bridge to go through and then our pontoons, as Robin just said. Thank you. What do you think of the canal? What do you think of the canal? Oh, is that good? You want to sleep, do you?
Okay, I've just come up the bow to check for Dave because we're just coming around the corner. We did just have a boat that wasn't on AIS come quite quickly at us around the bend, but as you can see, nice and clear here. Thanks very much. Look like slightly more exercise than we were expecting for you there.
There's another boat that's way down that you need to pass on the way.
Okay, no problem. Cheers.
Afternoon. Right, so as you can see, we have arrived at Cairn Barn. I think that's how you pronounce it. We're about halfway through the canal. Now, we could make it all the way to the other end in one go, but we decided to split it over 2 days. So we're stopping here for the night. There is a nice hotel that serves beer and food. So we're going to go there for a spot of lunch and probably for an evening meal later on tonight. But I've been well impressed with how efficient everybody is and how friendly the staff are. You know, getting us through the locks. The staff at the beginning were great, and then when we came to that bridge, he saw us coming. He had the bridge open for when we got to him, and so we just went straight through. Virtually, well, we didn't stop. We just kept going. So 10 out of 10 for the staff here. They've been absolutely fabulous. So looking forward to getting a pint of Guinness in the bar, and then we'll see what the rest of the afternoon and evening has in store for us. It is only, well, it's 3 o'clock now, so it's not too early for a Guinness now, is it?
Did somebody say Guinness?
I just said Guinness, yeah.
Fantastic.
It's not too early for a Guinness. He reckons it's not too early for a Guinness, so we're going to go for a pint of Guinness. Right, for some of you eagle-eyed viewers, you may have noticed in this episode and last week's episode that the speed through the water and our true wind indicator was not working on the chart plotter on the binnacle. And we've done a bit of research, and apparently the reason why that stopped working is because our speed and temperature sender down here is now blocked. So there's a little paddle wheel that spins around that gives you the speed, and then that in turn calculates the true wind angle. So we've been sailing on apparent wind. What we really need to be doing is sailing on true wind. So apparently what you can do is take this out and clean it, but when you take that out through the through hole, you're going to get the water coming into the boat. So we've decided to do this now that we are in the canal. So the worst thing that can happen is that we sink as far as the canal's depth, which is obviously a lot shallower than the water's been when we've been out sailing in the sea. So I've never done this before, so I'm going to attempt to take this out. This is the kind of bung that you put in, the blanking plate to stop the water flowing in. I've got a bucket and a sponge ready, so let's take this out for the first time. Quite stiff actually.
Long.
Okay, so that seems to be coming off quite nice. Yeah, here comes the water. Blimey, that was easier than I was expecting. And if you have a look on here, as you can see, that paddle wheel cannot turn, so it needs a bit of a clean, but I don't know how you disconnect this wiring. I think we'll have to clean this in situ. See, there's barnacles and all sorts on there. Right, okay, clean that the best I possibly can, but you may notice, you may be able to see there's one of the little lugs missing, so this unit will have to be replaced at some point, but for now it's going to have to go back. So let's reverse the process. Let's see if we can do this without sinking the boat. You ready? Doesn't seem to want to come up.
What's the big thing you have to remember? That the arrow points towards the bow.
Oh yeah, so this arrow needs to be pointing towards the bow. Right, well the good news is I've just come up to the pinnacle, and as you can see, the speed through the water dial is now reading 0 because obviously we're not moving. Before that just had dashes, and as you can also see in the middle there, the true wind indicator is actually moving. Oh, and by the way, I know on camera it looks like that screen is flickering. It's not in real life, it's just something to do with the way video records on that screen. It does funny things. But yeah, anyway, over the moon, it's now working. Can't wait tomorrow to test if the speed through the water is working. And now we've done that, we can now finally go for a pint of Guinness. Well, good morning from halfway along the Crinan Canal. As you can see, it's a fairly nice sunny day today, although it's not forecast to be sunny for long. It's going to become cloudy later on this afternoon, some showers expected later, but that's not going to deter our plans, because what we're going to be doing today is getting to the end of the canal. The winds are picking up today, so we're going to stay in a pontoon just before the basin at the end. So we won't actually exit the canal now until tomorrow, and then we've got some big plans coming up. You have to wait and see what they are. It's just coming up to about 9 o'clock now, and the staff are well, they've turned up. They've asked us what time we want to leave. We said we'd be ready to go in about 10 minutes. So we're going to make our way through the locks, and it's this part of the canal now where Robin is going to have to do the locks himself. Up to now we've had people helping us, but they're here to help us do this one because there's a road bridge, but after that I think Robin's on his own. Right, so annoyingly this morning the true wind indicator and the speed through the water display has decided to stop working, whereas clearly it was working last night. So I don't know whether the little sea creature that maybe was on the bottom of the boat has decided to make its home inside the paddle wheel that I cleaned yesterday after it was vacated by some of its friends. So it looks like I might have to take that through hole out again tonight. Right, well that was the 8th lock that we've been through since we entered the start of the canal, and we are now at the highest point. We're at the summit. And according to Navionics, we are 213 metres above sea level. That can't be right, can it?
Is that above chart datum, Dave? Have you allowed for the tide?
I think you'll just have to ask Navionics that. I'm just reading what it says on the screen.
I noticed that there's only one of us with our yellow hat out here. You and your lovely new bimini, which is keeping the water off. It's so waterproof, it's so lovely. Yeah.
All I need is a little heater down here and I'll be well on the way. I have got wet actually, to be fair, a little bit. Not as wet as you.
Did you spill your tea? Is that is that what happened?
Right, so we just pulled into a pontoon now. We're at lock number 9. There's 2 boats coming the other way, so we're going to wait for them to come through first. So it's a lovely spot actually. There's a spin you around. There's a little lake here where they play around with radio controlled boats. So I've got a little ball. I'm going to give Jess a freshwater bath. Are you ready? Are you ready? Go get the ball. Good girl. Now come round here. Come here. Jess, come here. Come here. Come here. No, you Wally, come here. Come here. Jess, come here. Come here. Here. What are you doing? You need to come down here. No, come here. Come here. Let me show you where you come out the water. Come here. Come here. Come here. Are you ready? Go that way. Come on. Right, come this way. Come here. Come here. If you come here, you can get out. That's it. There. That's it. Now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Should we do that again? Are you ready? Come here. Ready? Are you ready? Come here. Wait. Go. Come on this side, come here. Come here, come here. No, come here, Jess, you Wally, come here. You can't get out there. That's it, come round here, come here. Hey, come here, come here, come here. Oh dear, Jessie, oh dear. What are you doing there? Oh dear, come on. There. Remember, if you're enjoying this episode, please like and subscribe, and if you've got any comments or questions, please type away in the box below. Hitting like and subscribe and commenting will really help the channel grow, because the more you interact with us, the more YouTube will put us in front of other people who may not have found us yet. So thank you very much. Right, okay, so they've stopped us just after the last swing bridge. Crinan is about half a mile that way, but there is a bit of a backlog, there's a bit of a traffic jam. All the pontoons are taken because there's a lot of boats waiting to leave the canal and get out into the sea, but nobody wants to leave because whilst the conditions here are quite benign, out in the basin and out in the bay it's blown a force 7 apparently, so everyone's staying where they are until tomorrow, which means we've had to stop a little bit further up because we're effectively at the back of the queue to get out. So it's a nice place to stop, we're not complaining, we're in absolutely no rush, so it's not a problem. In fact, you can probably hear the wind building up a little bit now, and we're still a good sort of mile inland, I guess. Well, good morning everybody. It is our final couple of hours on the Crinan Canal. We've got a couple of locks to go that way, and then we're out into this here. Okay, so this is the kind of bay on the edge of Crinan, I suppose. As you can see, the tide's kind of going out at the moment. So we've got a bit of a traffic jam ahead of us. So generally speaking, they can only get one boat in a lock at a time, maybe two smaller boats, but certainly a boat our size, I think they can only get one in. So we might have a little bit of a wait before we can get out into this. But then after that, we've got an exciting day. I'll show you in the maps where we're going in a minute, but I'm just taking Jess for a little early morning walk. Robin's not showed his face yet, he's not up, but I'm sure we'll be having a cup of tea very, very soon. It's also good here to show you the difference in height between the sea level and where we are up there on the canal. There's a bit of a bank here. I'm not sure how well this is going to come out on camera, but we'll give it a try. I'm going to walk up this bank just where Jess is there, just walk past Jess to the top, and that's where the canal is, so come with me. And there's the canal. Okay, so we've just cast the lines and we're heading down the last part of the canal now into Crinan. 2 more locks and then we are back out in the sea. And we are heading to Loch Sween. Bit of a tight corner coming up here, but we are nearly in Crinan and the end of our little transit of the canal, which has been thoroughly enjoyable. And I must say, the staff have been absolutely fantastic. We bumped into two couples on a boat. They'd employed a pilot to take them through the lock, or locks. We did it on our own, but every single lock there was staff there to help us. I think they probably felt sorry for us. There's only 2 of us on the boat, so to speed things along, they put a member of staff with us. But every single member of staff was really helpful, and I just wish there was a way that we could tip them, but there doesn't seem to be anything. And I don't want to just give it to one person because there's been at least half a dozen of them that have helped us. So if you're watching Crinan Canal, then get your staff a tip box because they deserve it. Right, just entering a bit of wide area now, and then not far to go before we hit the town of Crinan. Right, so while we're waiting for the lock keeper to open the locks for us, let me just show you on the maps where we are. Obviously the red triangle is our current position. Got to get through these two locks and then we go out into the sea, come all the way down here, round the island of Dana and then up Loch Sween, and then we got a couple of options when we get to the top. Got a couple of options there. So that's where we're planning on getting to tonight. Right, that's it, one more lock and we are back out in the sea and our Crinan Canal journey is over. As I said before, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable trip. The staff have been fabulous and everything has been great apart from one thing, and that is that hotel over there. Went there for a drink last night, rude, horrible manager in there, wouldn't go there again. Miserable, wasn't she?
They're a bit misery, yeah.
And we went in there first of all. Nice little bar area, asked if we could have a drink. They asked us if we were residents, we said no. She goes, oh, you need to go and use this bar here. So we got kicked out of that bar and we got turfed around the corner into this dark and dingy room, which is the bar for non-residents. And it was the most expensive Guinness I think I've ever drunk. So I wouldn't recommend that place. But when you come here, you haven't really got a lot of choice of anywhere else to go, unfortunately. But apart from that, the whole Crinan Canal experience has been spot on. Brilliant. Highly recommend it. Would you do it again, Robin?
I would definitely do it again. I'd definitely do it again. My recommendation to you is to do it on the helm, because it's been a lovely experience for Dave. No, it's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed doing the locks as well. And like you said, the staff were amazing, weren't they? So,
yes, they were.
So we've had a great trip.
And you don't need to hire a pilot to come and do this. You can do it yourself. We've done it with the help of the staff. There's only two of us, as you know, and we had staff helping us at every lock. We met these people that had paid. Not only they paid for a pilot, but they also then had to take that pilot out for dinner because they stopped halfway along the canal. I don't think you need to do that. Do it yourself. I do owe you a new pair of gloves though, don't I? Because
it's a bit mucky, yeah. Bring a decent pair of gloves, yeah.
Okay, so the wall's behind us, the lock gates are now closing, and then we'll be going down one more time, and when the lock gates in front of us open, we'll be back out in the sea. And that just about does it for Dave for today. Thank you so much for joining us on our transit of the Crinan Canal. The next time our journey continues on the Sound of Jura and Loch Sween, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss that and all our future episodes. And as always, if you've got any comments or questions, please put them in the box below. Thanks once again to my amazing patrons for your continued support. All patrons get exclusive content, a live tracker and early access to all of our episodes. And if you'd like to become a patron for as little as £3 a month, more information can be found by clicking the link below. Until next time, bye bye. That's it, we're back in the sea.